Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Today is Waaay Out Wednesdays, my video series where every Wednesday I bring a topic to you that is metaphysical, spiritual, and really many times way out there. A lot like my glasses I'm wearing today, right? Yes, these are on trial. I do not have to pay for them because they are really a little too much for me. They're pretty cool. They've got, I could wear them anyway. Yeah, they're pretty cool, but they are kind of way out there, aren't they? So I know you guys are going to, so why not jump in the comments and let me know what you think about these glasses. Let's move on. Today is also a very different Waaay Out Wednesday because today is a participatory Waaay Out Wednesday. Yes, you heard me right. We're going to participate. We're going to do a little exercise together. So that's going to require you to get something or to have something. And that is oracle cards or tarot cards. Now, you don't need to know how to use oracle cards or even how to use tarot cards to do what we're going to do today. And if you don't have them, you can dial them up for free online. Just simply move my little screen over to the side, open up a new screen, type in free online oracle cards. You will likely see Colette Baron Reed has a site where you can use her cards for free. There's 3 decks when you go to her site, and then you can just check any deck. I actually use Wisdom of the Oracle, but you can click on any deck, and then you can just click on one of those cards and actually use them online like you would if you had a deck in your hands. Now, while I've been jibber-jabbering, hopefully you have been rooting around finding your oracle and your tarot cards, because here's why you're going to need them today. We all want to know what our spirit guides think, don't we? Don't we all want to know that? Isn't that the number one question that I get asked every day? What do my spirit guides think? How do I contact my spirit guides? How do I have a greater connection to them? Well, I'm going to tell you before we start our participation, while there's somebody still rooting around in a drawer somewhere to find their cards, I'm going to tell you how you can really deepen your connection to them. Now, I've got lots of videos on this, guys, in the Waaay Out Wednesday series, which you can find if you go to my main YouTube channel. Click the icon, that'll take you straight to my main channel. You're going to go to the tabs, go to playlist. You're going to click on Wow, Waaay Out Wednesday. You're going to see some videos on spirit guides. You can also simply, when you go to my main channel, click on the little magnifying glass, search spirit guides. Boom, you're going to find probably 5 videos on spirit guides. So there's a lot of information here for you. But I will say, since you and I are talking right now, I might as well tell you a little bit while we're waiting for, who to find our cards. So here's the thing. Honestly, I tell all my clients this, and I really mean it. Stand by it 100%. It is much harder for us and me to get a reading for myself than it is for me to do a reading for someone else. That means you too. It's much easier for us to read for other people than it is to read for ourselves. Now, why is that? Well, because when you're reading for somebody else, you don't really care about their retirement date. You don't really care if they sell their house. You got no skin in the game. Therefore, you can get real guidance because your brain, your ego brain, is not involved. Now, ask yourself a question you really care about. And you're going to get, your ego brain is going to be the first in line to answer. Okay? Now, your ego brain can even affect pendulums. Other energies can affect pendulums. That's why I think you really need to be very, very connected, just really deeply connected to be able to use a pendulum all the time. I think people overuse them, and I think they get answers that are all over the place sometimes, and that's sometimes because you have trickster energy around you, or because your own ego, your own energy is influencing that pendulum. Now, that is one of the reasons why it's hard for us to talk to our spirit guides, because we know what we want to hear. Now, you might be saying, well, Susan, you talk to your spirit guides all the time, and I do. And primarily, it's very easy. I take that back. It's not very easy. It used to be very easy for me to do political readings because I didn't care that much, but now I really do, right? So it is, for me to do a reading, I have to push my ego aside. Okay. And allow, that's why I channel. That is exactly why I channel, because I can be certain that the stuff coming out of my mouth is from them, and it's not clouded by my own opinions, because we all know how I feel about politics, right? So for you, some tips would be, use the word imagine. And this really works. It works so well with my clients and my students. If you say, if I could imagine what is the best thing for me to do in this situation, your brain just kind of goes, oh, she's not talking to me. She's talking to that crazy imaginary subconscious thing. So I'm going to go sit down. So when you say imagine, a lot of times you're able to access the part of your brain, the part of your body that connects with higher guidance. Okay, so that's a tip. The other tip is raise your vibration. For me to talk to my spirit guides very easily, I had to really raise my vibration. Now, there's lots of ways to do that, and it's not that hard. And it doesn't mean that you're a saint, because God knows I'm not a saint either, right? It just means that my baseline vibration is higher. And the way I did that was I really paid attention to anything that I would say to myself that was self-critical. So if I was in my brain saying, God, Susan, get it together. God, Susan, you're out of shape. My God, how'd you get so out of shape? My God, Susan, what are you, stupid? Right? All these things that we say to ourselves that we don't even pay attention to, that's going on in our head, but we really don't pay attention to. That is lowering your vibration. So instead of being critical, you want to turn that around and say, wow, Susan, you might be more out of shape than you thought you were. I wonder if now's a good time to join the gym again. I wonder if I could add an extra 10 minutes to my walks. Now, that's a very supportive way of talking to myself. Plus, it's helpful, right? So you want to sort of pay attention to how you're speaking to yourself. Are you being judgmental? Are you being negative? Are you being critical? So that's an easy way to raise your vibration. Another way of raising your vibration is just spend a little bit of time each day doing something fun. Listening to a comedian. You literally can raise your vibration just by doing 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day focused on high vibrational things can actually raise your vibration for hours afterwards. Okay, even if something bad happens afterwards, you're still going to be at a higher vibrational frequency than you were before that argument or before that traffic jam, whatever happens. Okay, so you can listen to comedians, you can listen to happy music, you can distract yourself from the news, you can tune into something that's educational. There's so many ways to raise your vibration. The last way I'll share with you is gratitude. Gratitude lists are huge. It is a game changer, truly a game changer. And I'm going to give you a really quick way to do gratitude list. And that is every day, just get yourself in the habit, write a sticky note, put a alarm on your phone, whatever you have to do. Every day, find 3 things that you did not know you were grateful for. Find 3 new things. Literally, I'm sitting in this room. I don't like my curtains. I really don't like them. It's a long story. But you know what? I'm actually grateful for them because they're room darkening curtains. So I'm actually really grateful for them. So that just changed my sort of sitting here talking to you, this kind of angst at my curtains, this low level kind of dissatisfaction that you're not even aware of. This is what I'm saying. All this stuff is right under the surface. So now I'm going to take a deep breath, and every day I'm going to be like, thank you for being room darkening. That's going to eventually change that low level angst to positivity. That's happening without me even knowing about it. So raising your vibration is a really important thing. Now we're going to get to the participatory thing. You're going to get your cards, where our intention is always to work with the light. Our intention is always to bring our spirit guides, our good angels, our light worker helpers to us, to resonate with us, to blend with us. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to shuffle these cards, and you're going to ask one question. Okay. You're going to ask the question, what do my spirit guides think about me? What do my spirit guides think about me? Okay. Now, I want you to stay with me, because this is important. If you tune off now, you're going to pull a card and you're going to be writing in the comments some crazy things. And I don't want you to have to go through that. And I don't want to have to go through it with you. So what do my spirit guides think of me? My spirit guides think of me by the book. They're telling me my energy right now is by the book. What in the heck is in that? That's an elephant, but there's something coming out of the elephant. Isn't there something coming out of the elephant? A dog? A wolf? No, a face. Ooh, that's crazy, y'all. That is a face. Okay, by the book. Now, what I can do is I can write down. I highly suggest that you do this. I highly suggest that you have some kind of journal, some kind of notebook, or on your phone, and that you're writing down all the crazy things that happen to you that you cannot explain. The weird dreams, the repeating numbers, the squirrel. I had a squirrel today that I thought was going to jump on my head. I'm like, is that you, Dad? Are you in there? You know, because animals, our loved ones, tend to blend with animals. So when animals act crazy or out of the ordinary, a lot of times it's one of your relatives. Okay. Now, sometimes it can be a spirit guide, but more often than not, in my experience, it's been a relative. So you want to write all this down, right? So today you're going to write down today's date. Today happens to be the 17th of April for me. I don't know what date it is for you. It could be 2025. Who knows? Write it down. And write down, here's what my spirit guides think of me. They think I'm by the book. I have no idea what that means. I'm kind of tempted to look it up. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to write it down and you're going to look it up. You're going to look up the definition. You're going to write it down in your book. The question was, what do my spirit guides think of me? The card that I pulled was by the book. I don't want you to do a huge spread. Okay. It gets complicated. It gets too complicated. This is a one card kind of thing. And it is really going to give you some information. Now, I did this before with a different deck, and I got all kinds of really sweet cards, like nurturing cards and things like that. Now, let's say that you get, because I actually did this whole exercise I did with my members. I have a membership on patreon.com/Susan Lynn Medium. And every Sunday, every other Sunday, we do a group where my spirit guides tell us what to ask the cards. And sometimes the question is like that. What do your spirit guides think of you? Another question was, what do others see in you that you do not see? What do others see in you that you do not see? Okay, so these are the questions we just did this last Sunday. So here's the thing. You might pull a really crazy card. You might pull in the tarot the card with all the swords, hanging over the sleeping person. You can tell I'm not a tarot card person. Let's say you pulled that card. Well, does that mean that your guides think that you're taking a nap all the time and you're at risk of having swords come down and cut you in half? No, the guides, when you do these kinds of things with cards and you ask your guides to give you guidance through the cards, this is all they have. This is their whole vocabulary is in these cards. They don't have, a trillion words to choose from. They're limited. So sometimes the card can be something that they're asking you to release. So if you got a card that was a negative card, then they're saying to you, okay, we feel like you're perhaps even laying awake at night worrying all the time. Or perhaps you're just almost worrying to the point of being paralyzed. So if you got that card, what they think of you is that you're worrying too much, and they're asking you to release that. Okay? Does that make sense? So if you get a negative card, it usually means that they feel like this negative quality is around your energy or in your energy, and they're asking you to be aware of it and then to release it. Okay? So you might get a beautiful card like happy, happy, right? Happy, happy. This is wisdom of the oracle. Okay. And then great. My guides see that I'm happy, happy. Now, either way, you can do one more card pull. And that is, how do I manifest or embody or make the changes needed that have come forth in this card? So let's say that I got happy, happy. Okay, happy, happy. The guides see me as a happy, happy person. Okay, great. Now I can just say, rock on, man. That's like getting an A+ from the teacher. No problem. I'm not going to ask any more questions. Or I could say, oh, how could I continue to be happy, happy? And then you can pull another card. Okay. Or if more than likely, if you got a card that was not the greatest, I'm trying to find a card that's not the greatest here. Right. So here's one. So, and it's a good card, but it's called a leg up. Okay. So let's say the guide said you got this card. You can see the little baby polar bear is getting a leg up from the mama polar bear, the daddy polar bear. So if I said the guides see in me that I need a leg up, or they're seeing the energy of needing a leg up, okay, then I would say, what does that mean? I mean, this is why I'm doing this, guys, because you get these cards and you're like, how does that make any sense? I know this because I do this every other Sunday with my members, and I've done it for 27 classes. So I know in and out how this works. What they would be saying if you get a leg up card is perhaps you need to ask for help. You need a leg up. Remember, it's the spirit guides. What do the spirit guides see in you? You need a leg up. Okay. That's what they would be saying in that. Ask for help. How many of us don't ask for help, right? Or find it hard to ask for help. So that's what they would be saying in that. So it's an interesting way. And I'm telling you, when I do these, we have a lot of people show up to these every other Sunday. We have like 80 people show up every other Sunday. And they do, because this stuff works. It's for real. You can find out, you can grow your soul. I actually call it Soul Growth Sunday, because you're going to grow. If you do this all the time, you're going to grow. So let me see if I can find another card to try to help you understand. So if you got this card, which is higher power, they would say, if I said, what do my guides see in me? And I got this card, higher power, this could mean that they see in me a higher power. But it can also mean to connect more with the higher power. Okay. Here's a good one. Finally. Chaos and conflict. chaos and conflict. Let's say I pull a card like this that says, my guides see chaos and conflict in me. I mean, that's kind of like tough love, isn't it? I mean, that's kind of rude, really. It's like, dang, y'all, how about being nice or something, or supportive? I'm not saying this happens very often. I don't think it does, but on occasion it can. And you really need, in my opinion, to sit with the message instead of asking for a clarifier card and a clarifier card and a clarifier card. That just muddies up the whole thing. So we pulled this card, chaos and conflict. Again, the guides are saying to you that they see in your life there's chaos and conflict. Girlfriend, they're just holding a big old mirror to you and saying, look at yourself, girl. What you got going on? Right? So if you get a card like this that's chaos and conflict, then you really want to know on a deeper level that this chaos and conflict around you is actually in your energy. It's actually impacting your energy more than you think. Perhaps you think the chaos and conflict is all out there and you've got your boundaries up. But this would tell you otherwise. The guides are telling you the chaos and conflict is all up in your energy. So now what you can do is you can say, okay, let me go into observer mode. Step out of my body, out of my mindset, if I can, get some distance and take a look at things. Perhaps some of the chaos and conflict has something to do with me. Perhaps I am not putting up boundaries. Perhaps I'm fighting back, and that's just prolonging the whole thing. Instead of saying, I said what I'm going to say, I'm not going to change my mind. Now I'm putting up a boundary. Perhaps you need more boundaries. Or perhaps you need to stand by your boundaries and don't let people or work or whatever it is run over your boundaries. Okay? So in this way, you can find out what your spirit guides are seeing that's going on inside of you, which frankly, I think is kind of brilliant. Everybody wants to know, what are my spirit guides? What are they saying? What do they think? Why don't they give me guidance? Honestly, this is a really good way to get guidance. You can just simply get some cards, and they can be any cards, you guys. Does not matter, as long as they resonate to you. If they resonate with you, that's great. Personally, I think that the tarot is a little bit serious. It's a little, it pretty much just takes all the filters off and gives it to you. So I only use the tarot when I really need, somebody to, I need that friend to tell me like it is, right? Just give it to me straight. Otherwise, I'm happy with my oracle cards. But, either will work. I've explained to you how a negative card can be used, how a positive card can be used. So if you got chaos and conflict, the next question is, okay, guides, y'all want to be all accurate and shit. Fine. Now I'm going to pull another card. I'm going to ask the follow-up question. Okay, give me some guidance on how to diminish, mitigate, get rid of the chaos and conflict in my life. So you're going to ask that question as you're shuffling. How do I get rid of the chaos and conflict from my life? How do I get rid of the chaos and conflict from my life? Now, you may have a lot of chaos and conflict, and it might be 3 different situations that require 3 different answers. So you have to understand that the card you get may not make sense to you immediately, okay? If that's the case, what I would do is I would kind of sit down and have a real talk with myself and say, let me name each chaos and conflict situation in my life. Let me just name it. There's this, there's this, there's this, and then pull a card for each of those. Now, here's the card I pulled, as if I got the chaos and conflict card, and that's what the guides thought of me. Here's how they said that I can overcome or diminish or mitigate the chaos and conflict. Flexible. I'm going to be honest with you. I am never going to be standing on an egg with my feet in the air, but okay. Be flexible, Susan. They're right. They're absolutely right. Be flexible. Bend with the wind, like the willow tree, right? Be water. Be water. Water goes around obstacles. It just flows around obstacles. You know, it's in my personality, and I'm sure it's in a lot of you guys, that when you get to an obstacle, you want to knock it down, or, you know, you want to, you know, you don't always think about going around it, especially if you're a problem solver. You want to fix it. Well, here's this obstacle's in the way. Let me fix it. Let me remove it. Let me cut a hole in it. Let me make it better, whatever. No, honey, not our circus, not our monkeys. Go around the dang thing. Just go around it. Be flexible. So you see the way I got guidance from my guides? That's really helpful. It's really helpful. This is stuff you can use in your daily life, Now, again, somebody's asking, well, Susan, why are you using cards? I thought you didn't use cards. I don't use cards for anything else but me, because when I'm doing readings, I can be a vessel. When I'm doing politics, I can be a vessel. When I'm doing me, it's hard for me to be a vessel. I literally have to put myself in a trance, in like a deep meditation. And I do. And I put myself in a deep meditation. How I do it is, and everybody's different, but one way to do it is to listen to a guided meditation. Find one that works. There's millions of them out there. Not all of them are going to work for you. Just because you listen to one that didn't work does not mean they don't work for you. Find the one that works. You know it works because you're going to be relaxed. You're going to be kind of zoned out. When it's over and they say, open your eyes, come back, wiggle your toes, don't do that. Stay there. Stay in the energy. Let the meditation end. Stay in the energy. From that place, your brain is asleep. That's why I like guided meditations. Your brain starts listening to the story, and then it falls asleep. But you're awake. Do it in a chair, so you're awake. Your brain's asleep. Your subconscious is like, yes, how can I help you? From there, you say, I want to speak to my higher self. Personally, I skip over my spirit guides and I go to my higher self. It's because your spirit guides have one task only, and that is to get you on your soul path, to help you stay on your soul path. If you have questions about your soul path, you can ask your spirit guides, but honestly, you really want to talk to your higher self. That's the part of you that's up there, whatever that is for you, in all of your incarnations. We leave a part of our soul up there through every single incarnation. Your higher self knows everything. That's why it's really good to talk to your higher self. So at the end of that meditation, you can ask your higher self a question. You want your question to be very succinct. You want it to be very simple. When you first start doing this, you're not going to be having a conversation back and forth with your higher self, probably. And you may get nothing, and that's okay. It's priming the pump. You're getting the energy going. You're getting the air bubbles out of the energy, right? You're priming the pump. So do it every week. You know, do it often enough. I wouldn't do it every day, but I would do it every week or every couple of days at the most. Ask your higher self a simple question. Am I on my soul path? Yes or no? Now you have to understand, sometimes that's not even a simple question because you may be on your soul path, but not all the way on your soul path. So the question might be a yes, but, or a no, but question, right? But you can at least start communicating with them. All right. I think I'm going to leave this here. I know you guys are going to have a million questions, and I welcome them. Drop them in the comments section. I'm happy to answer them. Even if you pull a card and you have a question, I will try to answer that. Of course, I'm not going to be able to answer all 200 or 300 questions, but I will answer as many as I can. Thank you so much for tuning in to Waaay Out Wednesdays. I really appreciate you so much. And if you're interested in the membership, you can always check it out at patreon.com/Susan Lynn Medium. And otherwise, have a really, really good day. Take really good care of yourself. Know you're always supported. You're always loved. They're always walking hand in hand with you throughout your life. Okay? We'll talk soon.